Welcome to the Q's Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
What's up, Q's Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Q's Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. Boom. The universal handle for the socials is at Q's Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It was a good day.
Is it? Was it?
It's a good day. There's not a ton of news to get to. I'll see if Joe can stretch it out. I'm sure he will be able to, as he always does.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I think you can do it. This is an impromptu episode, not well planned out, much like the other ones that we did last week, but that's okay.
Yeah, 20-minute warning. All right.
Yeah. So, anyway, I figured we'll do this because I want to explain a couple things to you. I want to talk about the ACC. The official ACC Twitter account put out a tournament, a player tournament for ACC players, but it was teams that are in the ACC currently was part of the stipulations, but it was nobody that's ever even played in the ACC from Syracuse. Billy Owens, Derek Coleman, and Pearl Washington and Carmelo Anthony all made it to the Final Four. It's great. We broke it. Folks, we broke it. Syracuse fans. Destroyed it. It's so great. So I want to get into that. We're going to do something coming up that we need your help with. We want to go over that, and we want to go over the rest of this bracket. We got the championship game coming up. I guess it would.
Well, it's been 2 days, so
yeah. Well, it's been
we got to kind of go through that and figure it out, right?
Yeah, we got to start. Well, we're going to do a lightning round, as lightning as we could do it. Giving you our picks, what we've done before, just kind of having some fun with it. But before we get into all this, before we get into all this, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my read. My wife was in here this time. And, of course, everything is Air Fingers quote, cleaned up. Okay. Yeah. No. Doesn't work like that. All right, let's get started. Let's tell you about LinkedIn first. The perfect hire can have an impact on your business for years to come. So when you need to find that next person to help you grow your business, LinkedIn Jobs will match the right talent with your open role fast. LinkedIn has over 675 million members worldwide. LinkedIn Jobs screens candidates with the hard and soft skills you're looking for so you can hire the right person fast. Things like collaboration, creativity, adaptability. LinkedIn looks beyond the work skills and puts your job post in front of qualified candidates who match your business requirements perfectly. That's how LinkedIn makes sure your job post is seen by the people you want to hire, people with skills, qualifications, and other interests that will help you grow your business. It's no wonder a person is hired every 8 seconds with LinkedIn, and why companies rated LinkedIn Jobs the #1 hiring platform for delivering quality hires. Find the right person for your business today with LinkedIn Jobs. You can pay what you want and get the first $50 off. Just visit linkedin.com/team. Again, that's linkedin.com/team. Get that first $50 off your first job post. Terms and conditions apply. Yes, thank you, LinkedIn. Preach. So, Joe.
Sir.
All right, well, there's not a ton of news to go over, as we already mentioned. I got some good stuff here.
Possible transfer, right?
A possible transfer. Illinois wing Alan Griffin, I think James. Hold on, let me see. James did something on this too. Let me pull this up real quick because I think the Syracuse.com one that I pulled notes from might be irrelevant, but this was from Syracuse.com. So let's see. Alan Griffin, obviously not Coach Alan Griffin. He told Jeff Goodman from Stadium on Friday that he was considering the Orange in some of his schools that he was planning on transfer to. 6'5" wing, currently considered a traditional transfer, which means he'll have to sit out a year. But he is trying to get a waiver granted by the NCAA. He played 28 games last year for Illinois. He averaged 8.9 points and 4.5 rebounds a game, and he shot 48% overall and 41.6% from three, which is really good. And Duke comes in, right? But according to according to James Zuba, our buddy, over at Noon's Magician, this was, let's say, the 31st. He put this out yesterday. You can go there and check it out. He's narrowed down his schools to 6, Joe, and Duke is nowhere to be found in here. Miami, Syracuse, Dayton, Iowa State, Arizona, and Texas. Looks pretty promising for Syracuse, if you ask me. But the other thing is that his younger brother, A.J. Griffin, is a Duke recruit and will start as a freshman in 2021. So maybe that had something to do with that. But Duke always trying to come in, swoop in, and steal a transfer.
Well, Duke still has a lot of scholarships out there, right? I mean, they haven't really had a lot of people.
We don't know yet, right? Yeah, so, I mean, I guess it's one
declare, and they have the recruiting class, and they got to pay from from the transfer portal, right? Yep. So they're pretty much loaded right now. So if you're a transfer and you're trying to get playing time, that's probably not where you're trying to go.
Probably not. But you gotta think. I guess Trey Jones is the only one in the that's trying to declare for the draft, right? But we still got Vernon Carey who hasn't said anything yet, and
or Cassius Stanley or Wendell Moore. Yeah, right. I mean, they're loaded. So obviously you want to know what's going on there before you think serious about Duke. But Duke's going to offer everybody anyway, especially if there's a team in the ACC in the mix. Because the chances, there's still 6 teams that are available out there, right? And most likely he won't get that waiver, and he'll have to sit out a year anyway. So
I think that bodes well for Syracuse if they were to pick him up, and he would have to sit a year anyway. I mean, just as a hypothetical.
Well, yeah, if you can find somebody like that, like how they did with Elijah Hughes, and if somebody that you like, if you can find somebody where you can see him down the line maybe helping out. Because technically, he sits out and comes in. It's almost like he's coming in with that recruiting class, except for it's somebody who's actually gotten, some experience in there. So it's not exactly like getting a freshman either. So if you can identify the ones that fit your system well and you can afford that and you have that scholarship space, then why not?
Yeah. It'd be solid pickup for Syracuse. But like we always say, man, if we get it, fantastic. If we don't, whatever. That's whatever. That's whatever. So, all right, that's it. Is that it for Syracuse sports? We got more Syracuse sports actually when we talk about this ACC tournament bracket. But let's catch up on the movie bracket. The final 4 is being voted on still right now. I think it ends here in maybe about an hour at the time of this recording. But Joe and I have not gone through our picks for the Sweet 16 and then the Elite 8. And then we'll do our final 4 picks. And that poll will be out this evening, which is Tuesday, the 31st. And that will be a 24-hour poll again. And we'll tell you what we got coming up next. I don't foresee sports in the near future right now. We'll still be hitting up the news. But we're going to have fun with some of these brackets. But I think this will be the last bracket because this one's going to be a little bit more thought out and not elaborate, but it might take a little bit extra work. We want to do it right. So, not that we didn't do this one right, Joe, but we learned a little bit, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we had Empire Strikes Back versus Independence Day. Is this right? This is not right. That is not right. It's this one. We had Remember the Titans versus The Waterboy.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. Me too. By the way, since I've seen that movie, I've been voting for that movie. I had not voted for that movie once. Have I talked about that movie on here yet? I don't know if I have. I haven't.
No.
So I watched Remember the Titans with my wife and my oldest son on Saturday night. And me and my son was Googling all the people and seeing where they're at now. It shows you where they're at the end of the movie. But I am so dumb because I had no idea that this happened in Alexandria, which is 3 hours from here, roughly. And that the guy just passed away the coach just passed away last December. And, he's like a local legend up there, obviously. And, so we watched it. We enjoyed it. That movie is amazing movie. It's an amazing story. It's a great story. It's giving me chills just talking about it, actually. So my son loved it. He was enthralled with it. The wife loved it. Amazing movie. So, anyways, I digress.
Yep.
Happy Gilmore versus Caddyshack.
Ugh, that one was so. I think I picked Happy Gilmore actually.
I picked Happy Gilmore as well. 2 golf movies going at it. Who would have thought? An 11 and a 7. By the way, Remember the Titans went by Waterboy. The 1 seed Empire Strikes Back, 4 seed Back to the Future. Joe, which way did you go?
Back to the Future.
I went Back to the Future too. Back to the Future takes the upset over Empire Strikes Back.
Who won the golf one?
Happy Gilmore. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back is beaten. It was the only 1 seed to be beaten before the Final Four. 3 seed Die Hard versus 15 seed Castaway. Castaway got to the Sweet 16. Almost a Cinderella story, but
Die Hard.
Close but no cigar.
Yeah.
Die Hard's where I went too. Boy, we're 4 for 4 right now, you and I. 1 seed Christmas Vacation versus 13 seed Dodgeball. Found Dodgeball DVD as I was looking for all my Lord of the Rings DVDs after I talked to Joe P from Facebook at the call-in show that we just did. I'm like, man, I'm going to whip out all my... I couldn't find them, so I may have to rebuy them. But anyway, I found Dodgeball. I'm like, okay, I need to rewatch this. So I went Christmas Vacation. Joe, which way did you go?
Dodgeball.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that good, huh?
It's hilarious to me.
Okay. I've seen the movie. I don't remember it, but I didn't know that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. That's a line from, what's his name, right?
Jason Bateman.
Yeah. I didn't know it came from that movie.
Yeah.
So that's how ignorant I am to that. 3 seed Hangover versus 7 seed Tommy Boy. This one shocked me. I went Hangover, thinking they were going to run away with this thing.
I went Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy squeaked it out, man. They just squeaked it out. So I think
it's a funny movie.
It's funny, and it's kind of a classic in its own way, right?
I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's one of those things you got to rewatch, I think, every couple of years.
Unedited. I mean, just the brilliance of, what's his name there? Chris Farley.
I
mean, he's amazing. It's just another one of those that we missed. So every single one of his movies is hilarious that I could think of. And then the last one in the Sweet 16, Shawshank Redemption, 6 seed versus Pulp Fiction, 2 seed. Pulp Fiction got smacked. I voted Pulp Fiction. Which way did you
saw
go?
that happening. Shawshank.
Okay. So then our Elite Eight, which just finished up yesterday. Joe, Remember the Titans versus Happy Gilmore. This was a tight one. 1 versus an 11. Remember the Titans squeaked it out. I voted Remember the Titans. I'm sure you did too. 4 seed Back to the Future, 3 seed Die Hard. This one was actually kind of tough for me, but I'm a big Back to the Future fan, and just remember that as a kid. It's one of those types of movies, so I went Back to the Future on it.
I thought I went Back to the Future too. That's one I don't remember. I don't know which one.
As much as you love Die Hard, you went Back to the Future?
I mean, I don't love Die Hard like that.
Dude, you're a Die Hard apologist. What are you talking about? You are.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, we'll move on. I disagree. 1 seed Christmas Vacation versus did I do that? I did that one, right?
No.
What was the first one I said? 1 seed Christmas Vacation versus 7 seed Tommy Boy. That's what it was. I went
Tommy Boy.
I went Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation actually spanked them. By the way, the Back to the Future Die Hard matchup was closer than it looked. Back to the Future advanced. Am I forgetting to say that? 1 seed Forrest Gump versus 6 seed Shawshank Redemption. This one was also close. I went Forrest Gump on it.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump won. So you got 1 seed Remember the Titans facing off against a 4 seed Back to the Future. 1 seed Christmas Vacation versus 1 seed Forrest Gump. And that's going on right now. I don't know what it looks like, but I think there's an hour left on it right now. Let's just check Twitter real quick.
I mean, if this final isn't Remember the Titans and Forrest Gump, then I don't know what the problem is.
Honestly, Joe, it looks like it's going to be Christmas Vacation versus Remember the Titans, unless people get voting on some Forrest action. But I will say this.
Wow.
Remember the Titans seems to be a fan favorite, and here's why. Because I've been paying attention to the numbers the number of votes per poll. And remember, the Titans is always at the top. Whatever poll that one's in is always at the top. So it looks like it's going to be Remember the Titans versus Christmas Vacation, and it could be a blowout. It could. I think that could be a blowout for Remember the Titans, but 2 1 seeds going together. And I will say this, Joe, our seeding wasn't that bad because as this squeezed up, some of these were blowouts, but all of the Elite Eight were pretty close. They were pretty close.
And that's like what happens usually in tournaments, right? You get those upsets.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always question about, they underseeded, they overseeded, and then at the end of the day, usually the cream rises to the top, and that's kind of, you've seen, 3 1 seeds and a 4 seed. That's happened plenty of times in Final Fours. So,
yeah, exactly. So not that bad. I don't think we did terrible on it. Of course, it's movies, so it's opinionated. Let's switch gears. The championship matchup is going to go up.
No, especially
tonight.
Since both my regions are both number 1. So.
That's true. I was wondering if that was going to squeak by you, but it did not.
Yeah, no, it wasn't gonna.
So it was close with Forrest Gump, though. I almost got there. But that's true. It's going to be Joe's regions there. It's going to be the comedy region versus the sports region. So that's going to go up tonight. That poll for that's going to go up tonight, Tuesday the 31st. That's why I always say happy whatever day it is, because if you listen on Wednesday, you know it was the day before. Just so you know. That's why I do that. Because I always say today, and you could be listening, hell, on Thursday. I don't know. So look. So the ACC thought it would be a great idea.
Yeah, this is absolutely outstanding.
The ACC thought it would be a great idea if they passed the time with their fans, the official ACC what do you want to call the Twitter page. They thought it would be a great idea to go ahead and put together a player tournament. And I'm trying to look up the rules of this thing. It wasn't rules, but it was like the stipulations of it. So I just want to be clear here. They do have the website listed here, or the piece. Man, and I'm going to tell you what they did today too. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not even mad at it. Most of you already know what happened. So the selection criteria, players evaluated on collegiate accomplishments, okay? Field compromised from only current ACC school alumni, okay? Field limited from players from 1970 to present day, minimum of 3 players per school, and a maximum of 6 players per school. And it was supposed to go down as follows. Now they did each round, each game got 24 hours to vote on. And that's exactly what happened up until today. So I
wonder why.
They finished up the Elite Eight, started yesterday afternoon, or yesterday morning, and finished up this morning with Pearl going on to the Final Four, Carmelo Anthony going on to the Final Four, Billy Owens and Derek Coleman going on to the Final Four. Once those guys got to the Final Four, you were supposed to get to vote on that for 48 hours. The Final Four matchup, the polls are supposed to be up for 48 hours to allow voting. And it went up.
And what happened?
It went up for exactly 4 hours. They only cut it short. Yeah, they only cut it short by 44 hours. And the championship matchup, you were supposed to start voting on the championship matchup. Actually, they sped the whole thing up, now that I'm looking at it. The Final Four wasn't even supposed to start until April 3rd. But they did it today. They just I didn't even notice this till just now.
Really?
Yeah, the Final Four wasn't even supposed to start till April 3rd. They were finishing up the Elite Eight this morning, which they did. And as soon as the Final Four was picked, they just said, screw it. They put it out in a poll that was supposed to be 48 hours into 4 hours. And the championship matchup was supposed to be voted on April 5th, and they just put that up. They put the championship matchup, which was Carmelo Anthony versus Derek Coleman, by the way. And you and I are going to go over who we voted for from the Final Four on this going forward. But Carmelo Anthony took it. So Carmelo Anthony won it. Now they're supposed to do like a legit champion crowned at 9 p.m. Eastern on April 6th. That's how this was supposed to go. So what what the ACC Twitter account did after they put the Final Four out, and once they put the Final Four out, they just flooded their timeline with videos, by the way, which is hilarious. But oh my gosh, the ACC teams fans were just, most of them were so livid about this. I probably shoulda, woulda, coulda done a damn what do you call it? Fan feedback on it. But anyways, hats off to all the Syracuse fans, and I apologize for retweeting these polls, but Derek Coleman was almost taken out a couple times, and I was determined as hell to get him into the Final Four, and which we did. So thanks to everybody who voted on all that. We broke the ACC Twitter account. We just
How awesome
killed them.
was that, dude?
I mean, when you look at it, when you really step back and look at it, it's huge what Syracuse fans did in this tournament, especially coming down the past couple days. Yeah. You know, I can't tell you how many of those polls I was tagged in. You had Cuse Waterboy reminding us, hey, you know, this poll's coming through. Other people were tagging us, and I was retweeting them. I was voting on every single one, obviously, but the Syracuse Twitter militia was on it. Let me tell you, I was just super proud. And then, of course, it goes orange on orange, and everybody's at each other's throats, which is
yeah.
It's solid.
Well, again, like you said, it's hilarious because none of those players were even in the ACC when they actually played. And I don't know, maybe it says something about our fans, you know? A lot of people are going through the same type of situation right now where they're at home and they're probably looking at social media and screens more than they normally do. And
yeah, maybe there's people bored. They got more time on their hands, and we just, you know, Cuse Nation came through on it, man. I mean, I think Noon's Magician had a tweet that said, Syracuse fans take a bow, basically. We did it. There's been articles at Syracuse.com about it. Everybody's done an article about this poll. It's been huge. It's been a huge thing for Syracuse fans to take note of, and you should be proud of this because there's no sports going on, but we just won something. So right. You know what I'm saying? We're some competitive.
I mean, as petty as it is.
Petty as it is. Yeah, who cares, right? But that's all we got right now are these polls. And for the ACC to just get in a mode where they're like, Syracuse fans just sabotaged this thing, and we were trying to be serious, and we were trying to have like a huge, you know, Final Four, 48 hours to vote on the Final Four. Well, the Final Four is all Syracuse players.
And now they don't care.
Now they don't care.
Like, screw it.
They're like, screw it. They're all Syracuse players. Syracuse Twitter just trolled us and ruined our bracket that we worked so hard on. Forget it. We're doing 2 4-hour polls, and we're not going to crown a champion. Whatever. Here's your winner. So anyways, let's do the Final Four, Joe. We know who we each voted for all the way through. By the way, I think Carmelo Anthony beat 2 Duke players, Shane Battier and Grant Hill. So, okay. I'm just saying. So, all right, Pearl versus Carmelo, Joe. Which way did you go?
Carmelo.
Oh, I went Pearl. Pearl. Sentimental. Derek Coleman versus Billy Owens.
Derek Coleman.
Me too, Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman, Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo.
Okay, I went Derek Coleman.
How can you not pick the guy?
I know.
The only national championship. Now, don't get me wrong.
I know. He only played one.
It's funny because I wanted to mention it because pretty much every night I've been going through and I've been rewatching. I didn't watch the first round against Manhattan. But that 2003 national championship run, I've been going through every night and watching it round by round and going back and just watching that team. And I'm telling you what, if you're a Syracuse fan and you want to go back and you want to watch just a good team, overall team, I mean, something that it'll prove to you that Boeheim will actually sub if he's got the talent and he's got the depth. Just going back and watching that team, I mean, that tournament with so many different games and different players that showed up. I mean, there were certain games where if Queth Duaney didn't show up, then we might have lost. If Josh Pace and Billy Edelin didn't come off the bench and do what they did, then we might have lost. If McNeil didn't come in and play 30 minutes to Craig Forrest 10, then we might have lost. So just watching that team and watching the versatility and the depth and how Boeheim played with that team, I don't know, dude. It's like a breath of fresh air.
It's a total different look, huh? You know,
God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. You do forget because it's hard to believe that that's what we used to watch.
Well, yeah, but you forget, like, everyone always thinks like Jerry McNamara and Carmelo because of what they did. And like, yeah, Hakeem Warwick, he was a sophomore and he did some things, obviously good things on that team too. So usually you think about those three players, but when you go back and you watch it and you see what Josh Pace did off the bench, playing the wing and playing up top as a guard. Billy Edelin sometimes coming in and playing more minutes than Jerry because he was getting it done. Same thing with Jeremy McNeil. I mean, some of the things that he did, and same thing with Craig Forth. I mean, I would die to have one of those centers this year or last year. I mean, just to go back and just see that team and how every game and somebody different that stepped up and, you know, the players. I mean, there was games where Carmelo had 0 at halftime and we were still leading and we were still okay. And it's amazing. So like I said, during this time, because everyone has time, go through and watch some of those games because it's just, as a Syracuse fan, there's nothing like it. And how can you not vote for the guy that brought you the national championship? Overall, he was the main dude. I mean, there was plays here and there.
I get that. That's too easy, though. It's too easy. I know I get that. I get it. I do. I would have voted Pearl all the way through if it was up to me. Just because.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he was, and Derek Coleman, too. You remember how often you see Pearl in the stands? Like, he was one that never went away. You know, he was always there. And he was always around Syracuse.
I thought that it was a situation where we were voting on players in their NCAA history.
Well, Joe, when it comes down to orange versus orange, you go with your heart, right? I mean, what am I going to do? That's what I did. Okay, I voted emotionally when it came down to the Final Four. I wanted to see Pearl get the crown. I did. That's all. That's all.
You don't go with the guy that brought you the national championship.
I mean, Joe, why are you vote shaming me right now? Did you mute yourself so you could sneeze all over the place? You're looking for your snot. Where'd it go? Why are you?
Well,
first of all, where'd your snot go? Not my sleeve. Stop vote shaming me. That's how I voted. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I could have voted Carmelo Anthony. I mean, Carmelo Anthony won. He won. It's legit. If anybody won this, it would have been legit to me. What are you doing? Joe, oh man, no one get near Joe, okay? Because I'm told he's on mute, right? He's muted himself, but I'm told you're not supposed to touch your face. You're not supposed to, rub your nose, rub your eyes, all these things. Sneeze into your arm. Sneeze into your arm. Try to keep your snot inside your body. And Joe's blowing snot everywhere. He's wiping his nose with his fingers, and then he's rubbing his mouth and rubbing it out of his mustache.
Oh God, you're such a great storyteller.
I had to do something to kill the time. I wasn't just gonna stop.
I know.
So
God.
All right. Well, that was fun.
The pollen, it gets me.
I know. Is it raining there? It's raining here.
Not yet.
It's always nice when it washes the pollen away.
Yeah.
So, I thought the ACC Twitter tournament was excellent. It was a proud moment for me. I thought it was awesome. It was endless tweets, and I'm never on Twitter at work, ever. I was freaking pulling over at work today to tweet. and just check the notifications. So thank you for that. Helped work go by a little bit easier, but slightly behind. So, so here's the deal. What was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. By the way, we do have we did a show, a call-in show over the weekend that is out. If you want to go check it out. We got to figure out a better way to do that too, and I think I figured it out. So anyway, we'll do more.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say
those are fun. Those are fun. What?
Should apologize to the people that called and didn't get in. Joe P, sorry for cutting you short.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. I hope you already told them. I said I was sorry about that.
Yes. So, everything's good as far as that goes. So yeah, I think got to probably communicate it a little bit better and get a bigger kind of gap or time.
What we gotta do is we gotta tweet out, hey, we're gonna be taking calls from 8 to 9. And then we do it from 8 to 9. So that way because there was people calling me after we were done too. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad. And because they didn't realize it was over. At least if we
even if we make it a 2-hour thing and then we just go back and edit,
We could make it a 2-hour thing and just sit here and record. And I mean, we both got TVs to watch and we can wait for calls. But the calls all came in at once. They flooded in one after another, and then it was just, we only got it was a little chaotic, but we only got one back. So anyway, we appreciate it. We'll do it again, but you can check it out if you want. The other thing is, the last thing I want to mention is, James texted me the other day and said, hey, are you going to do a TV show bracket? He must have listened because I think Joe mentioned something about a TV show bracket, which is a great idea. But I already had this idea to do a Battle of the Bands bracket or a Music Madness bracket. So we wanted to break it up into 4 regions, and we're probably going to do a classic rock region, a metal alternative region, a hip hop, rap, or R&B region, and a country region. And we need your help. So every day for 4 days straight, starting tomorrow, we are going to take the bands that you throw at us on social media. I'm going to ask you, give me your country bands, or country musicians, I should say. And you're going to give them to us. We're going to find 16 of each region, and we're going to seed them, but we are going to seed them, and then we're going to have a selection show, and it's going to be Joe and I, and we're going to bring in Tyler and James on the same show. It's going to be all 4 of us doing a selection show for a Battle of the Bands bracket,
oh boy,
which will be fun. And we're each going to seed a region, and then we're going to have to unveil it and probably be shamed by one another on the show. Yeah. So
most likely, yeah.
So I was trying to think of a way to where the fans could help us seed them, but it would take, first of all, it'd be grueling. I think it would take way too long. So we're going to let you choose the bands. So that way if something's missed, it's your fault. Plain and simple. Yeah. It's just too easy. So, right?
Sounds good to me, man.
And I'm not even going to interject if I see one missing.
Wait, my fault?
No. Their fault through the microphone, people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those guys and gals. Right. So, anyways, that's the plan. I will probably do the first. I'll ask for suggestions on musicians for the first region tomorrow. I don't know which one it is, but James and Tyler have already been summoned, and they are on board. So, should be fun, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm down.
All right, cool.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Music is not my forte.
Yes, it is. Stop. You listen to me. Actually, you don't listen to a ton of music, do you?
I don't. No. Really, the only time I listen to music is when I'm working out.
I listen to more talk radio than anything, but I mean, all summer long I'm outside. I do not like being indoors in the summer, and it is music all day, and also on the weekends. And the kids like the music I like, which is good.
Yeah.
So anyway, and you got to know us a little bit with the movie stuff. You get to know us a little bit with the music stuff too. So, and James and Tyler, which will be fun. I think it's going to be fun. So anyway, that's it. Joe, you got anything else?
No, sir.
All right, cool. Well,
I'm good.
Thanks, LinkedIn. Thanks to all of you for voting. Thanks to all of you fans for helping us pull out the all orange Final Four for the ACC player tournament, which was amazing. It was the bright spot in all of this so far for me. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. And I guess that's it. Thanks to James on guitar. Thanks to Armchair Media. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Thanks for listening to the Q's Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.